Hi folks, and welcome to Bangkok. We are on our way to Hua Hin today, and as kind of tradition has it, when I'm passing through Bangkok, I like to stop at one of the big motorbike dealers because that's where they all are in Bangkok. The biggest, maybe the best. We're at one today that we've not been to before, so my first time here. I've had time to enjoy myself and look around, but I'll give you a little tour. This is what's called Thunderbike. Now, before anybody says, that's not Bangkok, it's a north suburb of Bangkok. It's Nonthaburi. But for me, it's definitely Bangkok. Thunderbike here, I follow them on YouTube, and every day I'll see, I guess he's the proprietor here. I don't see him here today, although there's plenty of staff here. But every day he'll do a video on his newest bike that he gets in. These are all secondhand bikes, by the way. They're not new. So it's a used bike place. I should have said that from the outset. But you get more of a variety shopping for used bikes. And I don't know, I've spent I don't know how many hours looking through magazines, looking at bikes online, and thinking, well, that's a really cool bike. I'd like to maybe get that. I think I want that bike. And when you finally go to look at it, you sit on it, maybe even have a chance to ride it. I say, I don't want that bike. You really have to look at them in person is what I'm saying. And here's the thing, you may not know it's something you want until you see it. So in a place like this where there's such a variety, that's a good way to shop, I think. Anyway, it's a good exercise nonetheless. It is only for big bikes, which means kind of 300cc and up there. Having said that, there are some scooters here, but they'd be the large scooters, but we'll look at those. But I kind of show you the inventory, show you how they're all laid out, and then maybe I'll give you maybe the one that I like the best or maybe would consider purchasing myself. And you can do the same thing in the comments by letting me know which one you like and if you think the price was right or not. The prices are a mixed bag. Some I've seen I think are very good. Other ones are a little questionable. But anyway, that's what it is. That's the used market. It depends how much they're into the bike for. Now, speaking of that, probably the first question that comes into your mind, do they accept trades? Yes, resounding yes, they accept trades. In fact, they just took a trade. While I've been standing here, a deal was done and the guy traded a bike. Just as a refresher, here in Thailand, the license plate stays with the vehicle. So these will all have, you'll see white license plates on the bikes for the most part. That doesn't necessarily mean the registration's current. It might need to be renewed. That would probably be something they would take care of, but the license plate will be on there. So when you leave here, you leave with a white plate, not a red dealer tag type thing that's kind of, I would just rather have the white plate, put it that way. Anyway, let's look around. I'll start with some of the more common bikes, and then we'll work our way in to some of the ones that are kind of like one-off creations. So one of the good things here at Thunderbike is all the bikes have price tags on them. So very, very clear, big price tags. The first line, the biggest print is the price, obviously. About the second line down, I'll show you one of these, is the kilometers. Beyond that is about financing, which probably wouldn't apply to you if you're a foreigner here buying a bike, but it has a down payment and how much you'd pay for 36 months, 48 months. I think one of the most common bikes here, very, very common here, I counted 11 of them, would be the Honda Rebel 500. And they're all different. There's one here with ape hangers on it. That's the thing too with these used bikes. So they're secondhand, you're going to get whatever customization, accessories, etc. that the former owner decided to put on there. In this case, ape hangers. But you'll see there'll be top boxes, there'll be saddle bags, there'll be custom exhausts, and there'll be some that are left bone stock. But if there are accessories, then you'll see that's how it comes. How you see it is how you get it. And sometimes the accessory could make a decision, could weigh heavily on the buying decision. I mean, I'll show you later. One of the bikes I liked here, they've got it all loaded up with saddle bags. It looks like a tractor. It's a beautiful bike, but not with two big panniers and a great big top box. Anyway, I'll show you later. But that is a thing. You might like this Honda Rebel back here with the ape hangers. They've actually had to relocate the speedometer, the gauge, not a cluster, it's just a single gauge pod. They've had to relocate that off to the side because of the ape hangers. But anyway, lots of them. There's one with drag bars here. There's all sorts of the Honda Rebels. I think they're all 500s. There could be a 300 in the mix. Another very common bike here that I wouldn't have thought was very common is the Vulcan S. That's the Vulcan 650S. There's about close to 10 of those here, all different colors. The orange one there's a lot of attention to detail in the orange one. Even the wheels have orange accents and all. It looks nice if you like orange, I guess. But pretty common bike. So I don't know, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that maybe there are just so many of them here in Thailand, or are they the bikes that people aren't riding and decide to get rid of in favor of something else? That's always food for thought. If you see a whole lot of one model, I'm like, well, what's wrong with that model? It seems like they can't give them away. You got them coming out of your ears here. Maybe it's something that looks good but might not ride all that well. I guess this one isn't all that common here, but they have about 4 or 5 of them. The BMW GS310. This is a great starter bike. Just a standard bike, 310cc. I'll show you a flash as I'm talking. I'm going to flash some of these price tags at you and show you. I can't show you everything here, but I'll just try to show you as much as I can. But several of them here, and like I said, a good starter bike. Some of them as low as 100,000 baht, like this blue one behind me here, which you might pay more than that for a scooter. It's a very capable bike, very good quality. You get the BMW name. A couple Royal Enfields, but nothing that significant. Just a couple. There's one that's sold. There's one on the sold line. Speaking of the sold line, I think the owner's bike is on there. It's an old CB 1300. Looks really nice, but I can tell it's older. I say, what's this one? Oh, that's the boss's bike. So that one definitely caught my eye. Let's see what else we got. So I guess moving up from there, some of the real common bikes that they have a lot of, then you get ones that they might only have 1 of or 2 of, maybe 3. The Kawasaki line, the Ninjas. So there's 3 Ninja 400s and even a Z300 here. So varying prices and conditions. A lot of these, a good amount of them, are what I would consider low mileage, especially for these, for the years. As we go, I'll show you some that are really standouts for the low mileage. The Yamaha Bolt. This guy has I thought it was like a 300 series back tire on it. It's only a 240. It looks massive. But I rode one of these because my buddy rented one about a year ago, and I got to ride one. I was kind of impressed with it, but doesn't even have a back seat, and the little seat that it has feels hard and uncomfortable. I like the one that he rented better. Anyway, it's kind of a neat looking bike. This one's a 2014, so they don't make these anymore. They're all getting old. So in this row back here, that would be the large scooters I talked about. And there's, I don't know, about a half dozen of them. It kind of surprises me, the number one here, there's 3 of the 6 are Honda ADV 350s, which is a rather new model and a rather sought after model in some markets, like in Pattaya. Various colors and different mileage. But there's one here that's already got over 20,000 kilometers on it. They still want 169,000 baht for that. So it does have some accessories. This one right here with the windshield, the top box, has some accessories, so that's going to weigh in. But it seemed like they hold their value pretty good is the point there. There's even the venerable Suzuki Bugman, the Bugman 400. There you go. Kind of a rare bike. You don't see one of those every day. The rarest of these would be up here, a BMW C650. You don't see a lot. I don't think they make them anymore. Somebody's just riding in a Ducati. But that's kind of the king of the scooter, the large scooter market, the C650 Sport. About 400,000 for that guy, though. And the sport bike line, they don't have too many total sport bikes, a few, but they have some sport nakeds, the Honda, the CBR 650 and the CB 650R. Along that same ilk, some Kawasaki Z900s, even a Z800. They don't make anymore. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. This blue one back here, but I think only 129,000 baht. We'll look at it real quick. 169,000 baht. Z800, which I kind of like better than the 900. It's a 2016 model, only 16,000 kilometers, so not too bad. About 4 of these, at least 3 of the big Suzuki Boulevard C50s. Yeah, I don't know, maybe too big for here, but a pretty bike. Very pretty bike and comfortable to ride. They got one of these also with the ape hangers on it. They've got, here he is, and the great big fintail exhaust. So kind of surprised to see that many of them. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6, a half dozen of those as well. But where, like here, the Kawasaki Z900 RS, there's only one of them. There's just one here. And I would think that's a much more common bike than, say, the C50. I don't know. But maybe people want to hold on to those more than the other ones. There's a Goldwing up here, in very good condition despite its age. And I thought the price was pretty reasonable as well. It's got the 6 exhaust outlets on it. But there she is in all its glory. 499,000. It's been 28,000 kilometers. It's a 2016. 2016 is almost 9 years old. And then one of these big behemoths, the BMW R18, 700,000. Actually, it looks small next to the Goldwing. I know that's a big, huge, heavy bike, but it actually looks small next to the Goldwing. Now, over here, there's a couple bikes that I might be interested in. They have one Bonneville over here. It's a T100 Bonnie. It's only been 2,000 kilometers. It's a 2017, so it's an older one, but it's only been 2,000 kilometers. I look very closely when I see that low of kilometers on a bike, because maybe somebody has disconnected the speedometer, maybe somebody has bought a new gauge pod, who knows. But looking at this thing with a fine-tooth comb, it really screams out brand new bike. The other thing is this: the registration on it is from 2565. The registration on my bike will say 2568 right now. So this hasn't been registered for 3 years. It's been sitting in somebody's garage or wherever. But it's beautiful. It looks like it just came off the showroom. And the only accessory is this little saddlebag thing, which would go in the bin the first day. Yeah, that actually feels really nice. The seat feels good. There's a nice big back seat there. Not too much on these mirrors. They should probably be hanging off the handlebars. But I can see the gauges. For whatever reason, the Bonneville gauges are more angled up, and I can see them clearly. I guess I could see myself on this one. Pretty nice. I'm looking for something more like that. That's about a 900cc, I believe, the Bonnie T100. They don't have any T120s, but they do have a Speed Twin 1200, which is the same motor, I guess, as the T120. But I don't like the gauges on that. They sit so flat. These gauges sit so flat. I think it's hard to read when you're upright and you're looking down at the gauges. It's all glare. I don't know why they're not more angled up. But and also the seat's a little bit smaller than what I thought it would be. You can see the seat on that as compared to the seat on the Bonnie. I like the CB1100s, and I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I like a nice standard bike. It's got a nice sound to it. It's a inline 4-cylinder, about 90-ish horsepower, I think. And these also hold their value real good. Here's a 2017 with only 9,000 kilometers on it, but 349,000. The shocks might be aftermarket, but other than that, it looks, and the windshield's aftermarket, but pretty light on the accessories, so no problem there. It's got the same exact tires I got on my bike. But it's in good shape. It's in very good shape. I think that maybe a little bit high on the price. This one next to it is the one I would rather pick, but that's the one I'm talking about. Look at that. It's all loaded up with boxes. It looks like the family truckster, and it's got a great big fairing that looks like it's more at home on a Goldwing or something than on just a kind of an upright boulevard standard cruiser. This is a 2021 with 11,000 kilometers. So looking for the newer year with the low kilometers, that's kind of the way I'm looking at them. And of course, as you get, the newer you get, the more expensive they get, the less kilometers, the more expensive they get. But when you look, they've got 4 of these here, 4 of these CB1100s, and that would be the newest one with a reasonable amount of kilometers, but it's all loaded up with all this stuff. So, and that's probably close to $1,000 worth of stuff on there between the fairing and the boxes and all that, even used value. That's probably what it costs. There are 2 Versys 1000s here, both loaded up with saddlebags. They're both green. They're like twins except for the baggage. But that's kind of a rare bike, and to find 2 of them here, that's especially the same color. I thought that was kind of odd, but there they are. 379,000. Not bad for a 1-liter Kawasaki touring bike. So. But I want to get off a touring bike. I want to get something a little bit lower to the ground, something maybe not so much for touring, for day trips and cruising, something like the 1100 CB1100 RS, or maybe the Speed Twin or the Bonnie. So every day they have a little studio over here, and they film their bikes that's on their YouTube channel. It's just a short video. It might be a large scooter. It might be one of these. They tell you a little bit about it. They give you the price. They start it up, let you hear it, etc. So it is a good little tool, and you can kind of scroll through their YouTube page and find previous editions, because I'm telling you, I think he uploads every day, and you can kind of get an idea of their inventory by looking at that. But a lot of these bike dealers, they don't update their inventory online so much. I just noticed there's a CB500X sitting over here in the sold line, and somebody's put snow tires on it. So anyway, we had a great time. I had a great time. Lon saw a couple bikes she liked, but I had a great time looking around here at all the bikes. A lot of different things to look at, and you can really get an appreciation for some of them. So check them out on YouTube or Facebook. Thunderbike here in Nonthaburi. Thank you. This is Fa. So if you come, she can help you out. She's got all the answers that you need. So, all right, thank you. Bye-bye. So there you go. Another Bangkok area used bike megaplex here, Thunderbike. Sorry I couldn't show you everything, but we'll glance at a couple more price tags on the way out here. Make sure you ask when you go in there, though, because on this day, the first 3 rows up by the office were already sold. That's where they kept the sold bike. So that might change, but there was a good amount that were already sold. You don't want to waste time looking at something that isn't for sale. That seems like a good price, $289 for a 2018 S1000R BMW. We probably spent at least 2 hours here. It flew right by. It felt like only about 20 minutes. So there you go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. Something else next time, but for this one and Thunderbike, I'm going to have to go ahead and leave it off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.